Thursday's first video for you is first news stories about Ethiopian PM Abiy, who arrived in Oromia just a few minutes ago, who was accompanying him on this visit to Oromia. Second news story is about a US congressman who is a member of House committees on armed services, on intelligence and special operations. He is in Ethiopia these days. He has held some meetings with Ethiopian intelligence agency chief, with Demeke Mekonnen, foreign minister and deputy prime minister of Ethiopia. What are the agenda items behind these visits between a US congressman and Ethiopian intelligence agency chief? A third news story is about Olusegun Obasanjo, African Union's mediator, who was in Mekelle 2 days ago. He met with Desalegn and then a few hours ago he spoke with the BBC. He was asked questions about truce, about resumption of basic services in Tigray. When will negotiated ceasefire be put in place? What did he say? Fourthly, viewers, Ethiopian Federal Police Commission is taking action against YouTube channels and other news outlets, internet-based news outlets. 111 have been identified so far. And lastly, viewers, Ethiopian Orthodox Church has elected two elders for some positions, Abune Abraham and Abune Petoros. They were elected unanimously, it seems. No news of any disagreement. But we are hearing some objections against the two individuals elected by church elders. Objections are mostly being raised by some groups in Oromia region. The election is being welcomed in the Amhara region. Firstly, viewers, first news story is from Oromia. Ethiopian PM Abiy just a few minutes ago arrived in Bale zone of Oromia. He'll inspect some agricultural projects there. Who is he accompanied by? Olusegun Obasanjo is accompanying PM Abiy. Olusegun Obasanjo, African Union's mediator to resolve the Tigray conflict, was in Tigray 2 days ago. He held some meeting with Desalegn. Now he is with PM Abiy. It means that he is in touch with both the parties. It's a very encouraging development. Secondly, PM Abiy was accompanied by Shimelis Abdisa, Oromia region's president, because Abiy PM is visiting Oromia. Thirdly, he was accompanied by Hailemariam Desalegn. Hailemariam Desalegn is former Prime Minister of Ethiopia. He was EPRDF's last Prime Minister, but in 2018 he had to quit. And his relations with PM Abiy remained friendly. We have seen him with PM Abiy last month as well, when the two visited a project in the Amhara region. Once again, he's being seen with the PM in Oromia. A World Bank representative, Usman, also is part of the delegation visiting Oromia region of Ethiopia. Second news story is about US lawmaker who is visiting Ethiopia these days. Yesterday he met with the Desalegn Tirone, Ethiopian intelligence agency chief, and he met with Demak Mekonnen, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Ethiopia. Name of the person is John Trent Kelly. John Trent Kelly is a US congressman, and he is a member of US House Committee on Armed Services, and he is member of subcommittee about intelligence and special operations. Now, what are the objectives behind his engagements in Ethiopia? Tracy Ann Jacobson was also there in yesterday's meetings. Reportedly, he is in Ethiopia to discuss intelligence sharing, cross-border terrorism. He is arriving in Ethiopia at a time when US has decided to deploy troops to Somalia. The troops remained deployed in the past, then they were withdrawn. Now, once again, after Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud's election, US is redeploying its special forces to Somalia. And Al-Shabaab is going to be the target of new military operations. It seems that the US government is planning major operations against Al-Shabaab because 2 days ago we heard that US was trying to convince Nairobi that the US was interested in using Nairobi as base, Kenya as base for launching drones to carry out drone strikes on Al-Shabaab strongholds in Somalia. Talks are still underway. Will Kenya agree that its soil be used as a launching pad for drone strikes on Al-Shabaab in Somalia? That remains to be seen. But John Trent Kelly's visit of Ethiopia and some meetings in Kenya indicate that US is planning a major operation in collaboration with Ethiopia, Kenya and Somalia against Al-Shabaab. Al-Shabaab is becoming stronger, this armed group, despite operations against the group in the past. It could not be weakened. It has huge penetration in Somalia. It is involved in attacks in territories bordering Kenya and Ethiopia as well. Thirdly, viewers, third news story is about the mediation efforts to resolve Tigray conflict. Olusegun Obasanjo has spoken with BBC. He was asked questions about the progress made so far. What did he say? Firstly, he said, progress is slow but steady. Situation now is better than it was 6 months ago. Yes, I would agree with 2 points. Situation is improving but slowly. Thirdly, he says that humanitarian ceasefire should turn into negotiated ceasefire. Now, this is the important point, viewers. How will humanitarian ceasefire turn into negotiated ceasefire? Obviously, it will happen through negotiations. It means that at some level negotiations are underway. Though Ethiopian government keeps on denying that no direct talks, but if you want to put in place negotiated ceasefire, that can only happen after negotiations. Fourthly, he said that he was not in a position to give any time frame about an end to the conflict, but he said that there could be solutions sooner than expected. So it means that overall his tone was very optimistic about the mediation efforts to resolve the conflict. He talked about resumption of basic services as well, that in Tigray, banking service, electricity, telecommunication services should be restored as well. So overall, we can sum up here that Obasanjo is optimistic that things are moving in the right direction, though slowly. And as I said earlier, that he's in touch with both Tigray government and federal government as well. He was seeing PM Abiy in Oromia. Fourthly, viewers, Ethiopian government is taking action against social media based news outlets, YouTube news outlets, you can say. Federal Police Commission yesterday confirmed that 111 internet-based media outlets have been identified, which are allegedly involved in inciting violence, in creating religious conflicts, and action will be taken against them. 10 individuals are under investigation who are affiliated with these 111 media outlets. Who are these 10 individuals and 111 media outlets? No details, no names shared by the government. We know that Ethiopian government is after YouTube channels mostly. Miaza Muhammad of Roha TV has been arrested. Ethio Forum is closed, and Solomon Shome, he was also running a YouTube channel, I think. So government is identifying those YouTube channels which are based in Ethiopia, and action is being taken against them. So far, no names, no details shared by the government. Government said that these entities are violating Ethiopian media law. They're not registered as well, and they're sharing false information. It seems that it would be difficult to be in Ethiopia and to work on an internet-based news outlet like a YouTube channel or some other channels. Lastly, viewers, last news story is about some new officials elected by Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which has been holding its assembly for days. Abune Abraham has been elected as general manager of the church, and Abune Petoros has been elected as the secretary of the Holy Synod. 24 hours ago, the Orthodox Church made these announcements about these persons elected. The election, no question about that, no complaints, no internal conflicts we have seen so far. So it seems that the election was unanimous. But we are hearing some objections against these two persons, especially in Oromia. Some groups are saying that Abune Abraham spoke against celebration of Irrecha festival in Finfinne, Addis Ababa. So he represents Amharas, not all Orthodox followers living across Ethiopia. Second person, Abune Petoros, he is also being criticized that he spoke in support of Amharas in Valaga several times, but he did not speak for the Oromo suffering there. So mainly we are hearing objections against Abune Abraham, Abune Petoros in Oromia. But in Amhara region, this election is being welcomed. People say that both these church elders, they have outstanding reputation, and they will work towards uniting Orthodox Church followers. Thanks for watching.